Alright, so this will be the third and last video about this one play, which I'm sure everyone will be tired of watching by now. So, the main point is, in this game we ran it, and it went as well as it's gone, and it looks like everyone knows their jobs. There's been, so most of these are just examples of why it works and why we're going to continue to do it. We'll start here. This is early in the first. We've got me, Bob's on the inside, Eric and Dave, and then Scott. So this is why Bob will go to the point, or the left wing will go to the point. So you see it gets tied up. It squirts out behind the center. Their winger makes kind of a weak pass out to the point, and Bob's right. I mean, it was basically a pass to Bob. Bob's got a quick pass to Scott over there on the right. Unfortunately, we get it poked away, and we have to play defense. But I mean, we had a 3-on-2 going the other way, off a face-off that they thought they had won. So here we've got my line again. Bob's on the outside, Joe, and it looks like Eric's over there on the D. And once again, Scott gets out to the point. This winger was trying to slide across, get up high and get a better shot, but because Scott was headed there, I mean, I guess against most teams that would be an open shot, but he's got nothing. It bounces off Scott, goes out to the high point, but everyone's pretty much, this shot ends up being completely harmless because he's got a shot that the goalie can see, and all our players are getting into the right position. They're outnumbered. So right here, that shot's not going in. So, and they've got one guy out of the zone. The closest guy to the net is at the dots. So, this isn't the ideal shot you want on a one face-off, and because of the pressure that Scott was able to get, we're able to, keep them to that. And then that should have been a penalty over there in the corner, but, I mean, we made sure the first shot they got was harmless. So this one is when this play can work perfectly. So we've got Mike's line that was Schaff and Cohen and Connolly and Dave. Sean was not on the boards, but he gets the puck, which is the important thing. I think the reason we have people line up on the boards is to give him the most room to go get the puck. But if he can get the puck wherever it goes. So Eric will race out to the boards. So he stops it right here. He makes sure to stop a puck that's coming around the boards. And look, he's got Sean wide open. And they actually, I mean, if you watch this, he goes for the stretch pass. It's just, just a little off, or he couldn't catch it. But we would have had a breakaway. And that was, 3 seconds after a one face-off? I mean, that's how open we were. And that's why that play works. And it only works. You got Mike coming in. He's in good position too in case that pass isn't open. Dave and Sean are in the right spots. So, we're running this play really well, and it's starting to, I think people are starting to see what's going on and understand that these things will be open. I mean, that was open all night, and their D is a little slower. They've got a lot of fast forwards, but their D is a lot slower. We can get by them. So we ended up with an icing off that stretch pass, so now we're on the other side. So now we've got Dave passing to Sean, which they have not connected yet this year. So Mike does a good job winning the face-off. Eric's off to his point. Sean Connolly is wrestling around in here, and Cohen's going to the boards. Unfortunately, we're not able to pick up the pass. We've got numbers again. So then we ended up turning it over. So I wanted to show, the importance of being on the boards. These are those last two plays. So one of them, Sean was on the right, and he was the outside guy. This one, the first one, Eric was on the right. So you can watch how they go about catching the pass. So they're on the boards. So Eric catches the pass and stops. Because he, remember, when you catch that pass, you are a pass for, like, there is no skating with it. You are passing because those next 60 feet you're going to gain are faster than anybody can skate. So he stops the puck. He's got his stick flat against the boards. He's got, everything. A lot of times guys will use their skates to stop it perpendicular to the boards. So in this one, so now he's stopped. He's got the puck, and he's got that whole line open for that pass. Whereas it looks like, I'm not blaming anybody, it happens to everybody. It looks like Sean wanted to start to skate with this puck. So he's coming around, and he's trying to skate along the boards with the puck. And it ends up eating him up and dribbling off to the other team. Now remember, the most important job for that winger, the outside winger, is to stop that rim pass. And then you pass it. So you're going to stop the pass, and you're going to trust that the two forwards are in position and getting open. And at the worst, you'll chip it out of the zone. Because the number one thing of this play is to make sure we're out of the zone on a one faceoff. So, it's just... and as we get used to picking up, like, a lot of people don't have a lot of experience picking up rim passes off the board. So I think the more we get used to that too. But the main thing is, this isn't a breakout. The pass from the D is not the breakout pass. It's the pass from the winger. That's the breakout pass. So this is another one where it shows, Schaff is the one who's running this play perfectly. This whole season we've done it. Look, that puck there is right in the middle. He's already 1 or 2 steps out to the point. Lost face-off, so Sean's going to his guy. Mike's playing with, he's got the center, and then Joe's in his position here. See, now we've got all this D. We've got Eric had pressured their point to getting a pass to a covered person. They make a pretty good play to a center, but Mike's right there. And this guy just makes a blind pass to Joe in the middle, and we're out of the zone. You have to make, if we're in good position like that, the players on the other team are going to have to make much better plays than that. Whereas some of our previous plays, when we kind of got wandering off the draw, that would have been to an open guy in the slot. But because we've got guys trusting each other to be in position, we're able to push a puck that we lost. We push it around the outside. They make a nice pass, but that guy's not open. It's still 2-on-2 down low, and he tries to backhand a pass to nobody. So, it works. So here's one where, this is one where we didn't do everything we should have done. Oh wait, no, we did everything. You see, we got a one, they lost, or we won. They won it to the point. Johan goes out to the point. Look what he's trying to shoot through. He's trying to shoot through 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. The odds of that going in are pretty low. It'll happen every now and then, but most likely it'll hit somebody's stick, bounce out, and look, it'll usually bounce out, to Eric or into the corner or something. And so this guy, Eric, over here should be a little closer to whatever his name is, Feldman. But it was a quick shot off the draw. They tried to do it, but we've got, 2 blue jerseys in between the net and that shooter. And then Gary's able to corral it, and we're out of the zone. So this is the one where we didn't do everything we should have done. It's a lost face-off. So Johan starts to head out towards the point. All of a sudden he gets distracted, and he starts chasing around to the right wing. And he's going to keep chasing that point man. So now all of a sudden Eric is out there, and then Johan is out there. So we've got their whole point. Their left point is wide open right now. So now when Joe gets this rebound, he hasn't looked at which point is open. So he's going to the right point where Ferguson is. But if he had reversed it around to the other point, assuming Johan had gone to his side, the left wing had gone to their point, that would have been just another turnover. So, we've got Johan right now, the left wing right now, is not in any position to help on the offense. So just make sure, if you miss the original, wave at the pass, that's still the right wing's guy up here in the middle. So you don't have to worry too much about, that. And we've seen a couple other times where that winger, the inside winger, will start chasing up towards the middle, and they'll just punch it back towards their open point guy and get an easy shot. So we want as much pressure on the D from the wingers as possible, both D covered by both wingers. So this is one where Johan does the right thing. He gets out to that point, and we're going to get a block shot and out of the zone out of it, because he's able to get, especially, most of the teams that we play, and even for us, when it's a one face-off and it goes to a winger, they usually like to try to get it back to the D and then start doing something. Well, that gives us a couple extra steps to get to that point. And now he's trying to wrist it through, hits Johan in the skate. Out of the zone. I mean, that was harmless, and they had won that face-off pretty clean. Eventually they might figure out they have to start dumping it down low, but even then, I mean, we should be covered for that too. So this was the face-off when they had their goalie pulled. So it was 6-on-5. So I think in that case, we're obviously more focused on keeping the puck out of the zone. So obviously they've got, their standard 5 people, and then they have another winger over here too. So I think in the future, when there's a 6-on-5 face-off, we'll keep this winger that's out here, which in this case was Eric, keep him more towards the slot, just because we're going to be outnumbered if we lose a face-off. And, the number one thing, if we win that face-off, we're still going to rim it around, and the winger should be able to get out there a little quicker. But if it leaves the zone and nobody's there, that's fine too, because it's later in the game. But we're trying to keep a goal. These guys get a really good shot off this chance too. So they win it. It gets right to him. And now, look, we've got all 4 of our guys are right of the right post. And then Eric's out here playing his position. But, so Andrew had tied up. No one could really beat. I mean, Bob's a little out of position. But because they basically had 2 right wings on this draw and a left wing to cover, he's wide open and he's got a guy. So if there had been any kind of a rebound to this guy Polish, then we're talking about a tying goal. So luckily our goalie's able to rebound it out to the corner, and then we end up getting an empty netter to win the game. But so, I mean, for that last face-off, we lined up like we should. I just think we need to remember to be situationally aware where, if we're locking down on defense, there's a minute and a half to go, and they're putting it all in, and they've got an empty net anyway. Like, we don't need to break it out. We need to get it out. So make sure, we kind of tighten up a little, because the goal is the number one thing to protect. And in that face-off, as you saw, we didn't really get, we kind of left a really good chance open right around there. So when he shoots, look, he should have buried that shot. I mean, he didn't get a good shot off. And our goalie made a good play getting it into the boards and into the corner where Eric's able to pick it up. And eventually we turned it back over, but we played it, we pressured him and got a breakaway for an empty netter. So I would say right now our face-off plays are working well in the defensive zone. We'll obviously fine-tune it as we go, but as long as we've got the bare bones and the basics down, number 1 is be in position. Number 2, get to your point or run your route, I guess. And number 3 is just make sure you do the job that you have to do on that play. And then after that, it's all kind of free for all. But if we can set ourselves up a little better and reduce a lot of these needless mistakes we were making over the last couple years. So that'll be it for defensive zone face-offs for now. I think for the next 3 games, we'll try to focus on how our forecheck works, because in a beer league, if you could forecheck, you can get a lot of extra chances. So that's it, and I'll see you at the rink.